Welcome back to my Final Fantasy XIV drama series. Today's drama story is about drama from the other side. If you enjoy these kinds of videos, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Hi Pathra, I'm a big fan of your videos. I found you from a YouTube recommendation and got hooked on the stories. I'd like to share an experience I encountered while journeying on my Final Fantasy XIV adventures a while ago. Honestly, looking back, I find it silly now. I'm not a saint in this story. I don't want to paint myself as that. I was part of the problem, and I did it mainly for my own entertainment. This will probably make me sound terrible. Dude, you know this is gonna be juicy. This don't sound terrible. This sounds juicy. All of us are like, yes, this is what we want. It began when I was AFK. I had walked away to eat, and when I returned, I noticed I had a tell from someone complimenting my glam. I sent my thanks, and then we started talking. We befriended each other, and he would come by sometimes. I introduced them to my friends as well, and we all began talking. It was fun. His name was Cash. We sort of just kept in touch and added each other on Discord. He seemed pretty chill, no drama, just casual conversation and chatting, at least initially. But one day he tells me that his wife, his Final Fantasy wife, not real life wife, wants to meet me. I was shocked because he never mentioned a wife before, and I just said, cool, yeah, whatever, let me know. And then one day, I was out doing quests, enjoying my time alone and leveling up. All of a sudden, I saw Cash and his wife, I assumed. So I took a little pause from my quest to talk to them. He introduced us, and we talked for a few minutes. Her name was Taria. I was enjoying the conversation. Then I noticed something odd about the way she spoke. But I couldn't pinpoint what it was. But I sensed a strange vibe from her. You may wonder, how can someone read a vibe off of just words? Well, you can, and I did. If that seems strange, I apologize. But anyways, at the time, I brushed it off. I decided to not read anything into it. I added her on Discord. Taria and I talked mainly whenever I saw Cash on FF. They were always together, and that didn't bother me. I still talked to them, and it was actually easier that way rather than talking to them separately. Time went by, and everything was going well. I soon realized something about Taria. She seemed to be completely immersed in her RP world. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you let the FF life consume you, eventually you won't be able to differentiate real life from the game. I'm not against role-playing, but with her, it seemed like it was too real. One day, out of the blue, Cash contacted me. He started telling me about a lover that he had before Taria. He told me that his ex-lover basically harasses him. Being a supportive person, I tried to tell him to not give her the attention that she wanted and to just ignore her. I don't usually get involved in drama, but sometimes I get dragged into it. It is hard to get out of a drama mess when you are in the middle, and sometimes in the process of trying to extract yourself from other people's drama, you end up looking like the bad guy. That's true. Cash and Taria told me more stories about this mysterious girl, and the stories kept changing. It was always something different. That didn't sit right with me, but I remained calm and cool and gave advice as best as I could. But I could feel my frustration and suspicion rising every time the other girl was mentioned. I was losing my patience with Cash and Taria. Until one day, I finally said to them, that's it. I'm gonna go find this girl and get her side of the story. I was fed up, to be honest. I was just dealing with them and being nice so no one would get upset. But eventually, I got sick of the bad mouthing of this girl, and since I didn't know her, Cash and Taria were expecting that I would just automatically take their side. Oh, shit. They're gonna find the other side. But yeah, they're getting involved. But That must be so annoying to just like constantly like hear about someone and like people bad mouthing a person. You're just like, dude, I don't even know this person. Why do you keep telling me about them? It's just like not Cash and Tarya's place to just like always talk about Cash's ex with OP. Cash told me, go ahead. And then he told me exactly where she was, her actual location. He just knew where she was. I found this very odd. Wasn't she supposed to be bothering them and following them? It seemed like, on the contrary, that they were following her. I confided in my friend Panda about this. He agreed with me wholeheartedly and said that he thought it was very strange too. I went to the location that Cash and Tarya had given me, but the girl, Mizu, wasn't there. But someone she knew was, and they said she would be back. While just standing there waiting, I received a tell from Tarya. Tell that bitch she should go apply to a whorehouse. I was shocked, speechless, and disappointed. I couldn't even respond, and then I was turning around and meeting the girl, Mizu. I told her everything that Cash and Tarya were saying about her and how they made her out to be the aggressor and the harasser. I told her I wanted to hear her side because I had been dragged into this and now I wanted to find out the truth. Holy. Yeah, so like imagine a person comes up to you and was like, hey, I'm tired of hearing these people trash talk about you, so I want to hear your side. That is so random. It almost seems like you're a shit stirrer also by approaching like the other side. Like, how can they trust you? You're just a stranger. Mizu was upset, understandably, because the way that Mizu told it, the whole story was the other way around. I mean, of course, right? Like, they have different sides completely. Like, in Mizu's mind, she's innocent. In Cash and Tarya, like, they're innocent. So it's like, they're going to see it different ways, no matter what. She claimed that she even had to put in a report against Cash to leave her alone. As I got more information, it all started to make sense. Cash and Tarya were hiding the truth and making Mizu into the villain. They were all originally friends, and Mizu and Cash had dated before Tarya even came into the picture. But Tarya never wanted to have Mizu around and would always make everything difficult in their interactions. It turned out that Tarya manipulated Cash into having a relationship with her instead of with Mizu. I asked myself, why did I even get involved in this? I could have just blacklisted them. I guess I just love the tea. So after listening to Mizu's side, I confronted Cash and told him that her story made more sense to me and seemed way more genuine than his story. Cash and Tarya were furious. They unfriended me. I didn't mind that. I was glad they were out of my life. Well, it so happens that when you go against some people, they'll start talking about you. My friend Panda, being the other person in this, would get messages from them since he was still friends with them. He would tell me whenever they would say something about me, which made me laugh. One day, I followed Panda to the lovely Limsa. Tarya and her friends were standing around the bench as we walked up, and then he told me he was getting tells from Tarya. She gives me a bad vibe. I don't want her to be anywhere near our bench. Oh, so is Tarya must have said that line about OP to Panda. I couldn't believe this. It's a bench in a public online area. That's crazy. We decided to ignore her tells and interact with the people that were all standing around. There were a lot of Tarya's friends around, and one of them was giving out cookies. I don't know if I trust these cookies. Might be laced with something, I commented. Lord, did that hit a nerve. What a disgusting thing to say, piped up by one of the bystanders. Cookie Man is a real person and you have hurt his feelings. I understand they're real. I'm not saying he's a predator in real life. I was joking. I ignored that comment and kept talking to Cookie Man. Panda said, I want a cookie. Panda took the cookie, ate it, and then did the play dead emote. What's going to happen now? Is Cookie Man going to put him in his white van? I joked. I was making jokes. Cookie Man kept emoting that he was shocked. He offered me another cookie, which I accepted. Meanwhile, Tarya and her friends kept calling me disgusting. I'm not saying anything to him with any ill will at all, I finally said. I gave him back his cookie and said, sorry, I guess I was being too disgusting. Tarya continued to send Panda tells about me. She told other people things about me. She got the Cookie Man to report me. She got a few others around her to report me as well. I logged off to sleep. The next day, when I got on, I went back to Limsa where Panda was, and Cookie Man was shocked. Cookie Man sent me a tell. How are you still here? I said, what do you mean? I asked, and he confessed that Tarya had made him report me. I was not surprised. Whenever I went to Limsa, I ignored them. I didn't interact with Tarya or Cash. You can't report someone for that. What the hell? That's not reportable. That's like role playing in Limsa. I only interacted with my friend Panda, and I became good friends with the Cookie Man. He told me that he had misjudged me and that I am actually pretty cool. He did say that our senses of humor were different, but he's okay with that. I remember there was this one day, and Panda and I were talking to a lot of people that were in Limsa. Panda was talking to a row girl. Them ladies are giants. Anyway, he was talking to her, and she sat down for him to reach to his level, since he was a Lala. And then I went over to pet her. But in the process of that, she suddenly stood up, and it looked like I touched her ass. It wasn't intentional. My friend Panda then joked, oh my god, are you okay? She just sexually harassed you. Oh my god, they're taking it too far now. Well then, people started telling me how Tarya and Cash were upset because apparently this row girl was a friend of theirs and had gotten a panic attack because I mentioned sexual harassment, which was not me. So I was being painted as this person that was hurting someone. And I was like, no. I was being accused of something I didn't do. I sent the girl a tell to apologize if any words that I may have spoken had upset her. And if she herself told me that I didn't do anything wrong and that she doesn't understand why they're doing what they're doing. And she began to apologize to me because of them. She shouldn't have been placed in that position in the first place. So we just kept going back and forth apologizing. A lot of people kept getting involved and talking to me as if I was at fault for this drama. Tarya had a lot of friends who took her side in all things, and she twists the truth to make herself like the victim. The reason I said I am not a saint in this story is that I enjoyed it. I admit that I enjoyed being the issue. I wasn't really taking any of it seriously. I mostly went on with my days and defended myself when I could. Eventually, Tarya and Cash's empire started to crumble. They began to have problems in their relationship. He was cheating on her, and Tarya had people take her side and start harassing Cash. Ironic, right? Cash reached out to me and apologized. He said it had just been a total chaos and he had moved out of their house. They were ending their relationship. I listened, although I have to admit I was cold to him at first. Eventually, though, I felt bad and sympathized with him. It turned out that Tarya had a secret of her own. She was going out to venues, flirting with other men. Tarya still was gossiping about me, telling people to watch out for me. She ended up leaving the server. Her excuse was that she was trying to escape the drama. Mizu and Cash started talking again, and they are currently doing fine. I'm still doing my MSQ and have met a lot of great people, and I am drama-free. But that's the first experience I had with drama. It was fun while it lasted, but wow. FF life is honestly interesting. I love it. I have moved on from all of this, and now it is just a silly memory. Thank you for reading. The end. Yeah, I think I wanted to feature this story because I thought it was different. Like, Now we have like someone who was actually willing to go out and hear like the other side and get themselves involved. And then like, I just want to see what you guys thought of it. It's like, I wouldn't recommend for anyone to do this, okay? But if you want to be involved, then yeah, I guess go for it. Like Opie basically just wanted to know what is going on. Like they just got so fed up of people they were interacting with constantly talking about and bad mouthing this one person that they just wanted to go out and find the other side and truly become like a detective and figure it out. Now that like we've seen the end, it sounds like Taria was the one scheming, making Cash horrible. You know, people do crazy things when they're in love, you know, or like when they like someone. And so when you see Cash dating Taria, maybe he bought into that toxicity. Like, let's be real, he was also being toxic if he bought into her toxicity. So like Cash is to blame there. Like he is his own person. But if he got influenced by Taria because he was with her, like that's pretty sad. But Opie forgave Cash and now all things are well. Mizu, Cash, and Opie are all friends. Taria out of the picture. Sometimes it do be one person that's feeding a bunch of people stuff, right? This sounds like a high school drama plotline. That's true. Does feel like that. There is like no good people in the story, but at least OP admits their own faults. That's true. Everyone's got a mistake and a fault in here. Lost plenty of friends because I didn't take their side or didn't take a side at all. No, yeah, like, okay, I will say, like, even if you try your best to stay out of drama, sometimes you just get into drama, and that's like the worst. If you actively tried to stay out of it but then happen to get into it, it's so annoying, right? Sometimes when people just tell you things, it like makes you feel like, ah, shit, now I know information I wish I didn't know. You know, that's how it feels sometimes. Oh my god, you can only imagine how many people vent to me, right? And so like I was like, I do not need to know this. I do not need to know this. It's the worst also when you know two people and then one person vents something to you and you're like, oh, I don't want to know about that, because like you know both of them and you rather just not be involved. Maybe like there's people out there who just don't reply, you know, just don't reply, so you truly stay out of it. And then if they're like, why didn't you reply, you should be like, oh, I was busy with IRL things. That's the best excuse. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about this Final Fantasy XIV drama story. Remember, these are real people behind the stories and they're human and can make mistakes. They'll also be reading the comment section, so please try to have constructive criticism. There are always nicer ways to say something versus saying it meanly to help someone learn and grow. If you have any of your own drama stories that you'd like me to share and read out anonymously, feel free to reach out to my Discord, discord.gg/Pathra.